Hello, here is some important world news today, May 13, 2025. U.S. News, U.S.-China trade de-escalation. The agreement to lower tariffs came as a surprise to many analysts, who had anticipated a further hardening of positions. The specific tariffs being reduced and the sectors they impact haven't been fully disclosed yet, but sources suggest they target a broad range of goods. The 90-day negotiation window aims to address deeper structural issues like intellectual property theft and market access. The 20% tariff on Chinese fentanyl precursors is a separate measure aimed at combating the opioid crisis in the U.S. This development has been met with cautious optimism in global markets, as a prolonged trade war had been a significant drag on economic growth. President Trump's Middle East trip begins. President Trump's visit is highly anticipated, particularly given the ongoing tensions in the region. Discussions in Saudi Arabia are expected to center on oil production, counterterrorism efforts, and the potential for further normalization of relations with Israel. In Qatar, the focus will likely be on the country's role in regional mediation and energy security. The UAE leg of the trip could see talks on technology investments and joint security initiatives. The potential detour to Turkey has sparked considerable interest, as Turkey has previously played a role in facilitating talks between Ukraine and Russia. The agenda for such a meeting, if it occurs, remains unclear. Middle East. Qatar offers jet to U.S. The offer of the Boeing 747-8 has raised eyebrows due to its potential implications. Typically, new Air Force One aircraft are custom-built for security and communication purposes. Accepting a pre-owned aircraft, even a state-of-the-art one, would present logistical and security challenges. Legal experts are examining the implications of accepting such a significant gift from a foreign government, while ethics watchdogs are raising questions about potential undue influence. The exact terms of the offer, whether it's a donation, a long-term loan, or another arrangement, are still under discussion between the two governments. U.S. News: President Trump orders pharma cost cuts. President Trump's executive order is a significant move aimed at lowering drug prices, a long-standing promise of his administration. The directive for HHS to negotiate Medicare prices based on international benchmarks could lead to substantial savings for the U.S. healthcare system. But it is likely to face strong opposition from pharmaceutical companies. They argue that such measures would stifle innovation and reduce investment in research and development. Legal challenges to the executive order are widely expected. The 30-day timeline for implementation is considered ambitious by many in the industry. Australia News. Australia's Liberal Party elects first female leader. Susan Lay's election as leader of the Liberal Party is a historic moment in Australian politics. She takes the helm of the opposition party following a recent election defeat. Her policy platform and leadership style will be closely watched as she seeks to rebuild the party's support and challenge the current government. Analysts suggest her election could signal a shift in the party's direction on certain social and economic issues. China News. China lifts Boeing ban. The lifting of the ban on new Boeing aircraft is seen as a direct result of the improved trade relations with the U.S. China is a crucial market for Boeing, and the ban, which had been in place for some time due to safety concerns and geopolitical tensions, had significantly impacted the company's sales. This move is expected to provide a boost to Boeing and signals a willingness on both sides to normalize commercial ties as part of the broader trade agreement. United Nations News. UN aviation body rules Russia downed MH17. The ruling by the International Civil Aviation Organization, ICAO, reinforces previous findings from international investigations. While the ICAO's pronouncements are not legally binding in the same way as a court verdict, they carry significant weight in international law and public opinion, Russia has consistently denied any involvement in the downing of the flight. This ruling is likely to further strain relations between Russia and the countries that were part of the joint investigation team. Cyber news. Marks & Spencer cyber attack. The cyber attack on Marks & Spencer is the latest in a series of data breaches affecting major retailers globally. The company has not yet disclosed the extent of the data compromised or the number of customers affected. Investigations are underway to determine the source of the attack and the vulnerabilities that were exploited. This incident will likely lead to increased scrutiny of M&S's cybersecurity measures and could have reputational and financial consequences for the company. Science news. Scientists explore beating heat for better sleep. The research into the impact of rising temperatures on sleep highlights a growing concern related to climate change and urbanization. Studies are focusing on various factors, including the ideal temperature range for sleep, the effects of humidity, and potential technological and behavioral interventions. These could include advancements in cooling technologies, urban planning strategies to mitigate heat island effects, and personalized recommendations for sleep environments. The findings are considered crucial for public health as sleep deprivation has numerous negative consequences. Malaysia news. Malaysian paramilitary officers killed in crash. The tragic accident involving Malaysian paramilitary officers has resulted in a significant loss of life. Details about the cause of the collision are still emerging, and investigations are underway. The incident is likely to prompt a review of safety protocols and vehicle maintenance within the paramilitary force. Condolences and tributes are being offered to the families of the deceased. And here's a snapshot of some important financial news today. Global markets. U.S.-China trade. Following weekend negotiations, the United States and China have agreed to temporarily reduce tariffs on each other's goods for 90 days. This development has eased concerns about a potential global trade war, leading to a significant rally in U.S. stocks on Monday. The U.S. will lower tariffs on Chinese imports to 30% from 145%, while China will reduce tariffs on U.S. imports to 10% from 125%. Stock market performance, Monday. The Dow Jones Industrial Average surged by 2.8% to its highest close since March 26. The S&P 500 rallied by 3.3%, marking its biggest daily gain since March 3 RD. Consumer discretionary, technology, and industrial stocks saw the largest gains. The Nasdaq Composite climbed by 4.4%. The CBOE Volatility Index, a measure of market fear, fell by over 16%. European markets. Indices in Europe were modestly higher in early trading today after a mixed performance in Asia. Asian markets. Asian markets finished mixed, with Shanghai stocks falling but Tokyo stocks rising. Economic data. Australia. Westpac consumer confidence showed an increase, and NAB business confidence indicated a slight negative sentiment in April. Building permits for March showed a significant month-over-month decrease. United Kingdom. Unemployment rate for March increased slightly to 4.5%. While average earnings including and excluding bonuses showed varying growth rates. Euro area and Germany. The ZEW Economic Sentiment Index for May showed a significant improvement in economic sentiment for both the Euro area and Germany. South Africa. Unemployment rate for Q1 2025 rose to 32.9%, with an increase in the number of unemployed persons. United States. The NFIB Business Optimism Index for April showed a slight decrease. April inflation data, CPI, is expected later today. Goodbye.